Hey, 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 happy Tuesday. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Gaming Gang Dispatch is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang. Welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host, here at the Gaming Gang Dispatch, brought to you by thegaminggang.com, which I happen to be the grand poobah. That's right, I am the founder and editor-in-chief of thegaminggang.com. Welcome aboard. Tonight is Tuesday, November 30th, 2021. This is live stream 723. If this is your first time joining me, let me point out, this is super casual. Just hanging out, talking about the latest in tabletop gaming news and taking a first look at tabletop games. Every once in a while, I'll do a review on the live show as well. So tonight, I am going to be unboxing and taking a first look at Gloomhaven from Cephlofair Games. Normally, I would be holding the game up saying, hey, this is what we're going to take a look at tonight. But this box is 20 pounds. And I'd have to move the mic out of the way like I had to do last night when I showed it. Hey, this is what I'm showing off tomorrow. Jeez. Man, this is going to be crazy. This is going to be crazy. I'm looking forward to seeing what's in this box because it is a big old box. So, do want to mention that if you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do, ding that bell. Because not only will it let you know when the Dispatch streams live Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday evenings right here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Central. I'll also tell you when I upload other videos, such as my upcoming review of Rackham Vale. As I mentioned before, if you are a fan of the OSR, this is definitely going to be something to take a peek at. So I have this on the horizon. That's right. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Lastly, this is a live stream, so that means there is chat available. It's not on screen. It's one of the ways I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay. But if you want to say howdy, maybe you got a question, a comment, by all means, chime in. I will do my best to respond. Do want to mention you have to be a subscriber to the channel and you have to have been a subscriber for at least 48 hours to take part in chat. Another way that I kind of try to keep some of the off the wall commenters, I guess I'll say, at bay. So it looks like we got a good chat off and running. Let's see who we've got tonight. The Motor City Madman. Yes, the Madman is with us. He was first out the gate saying howdy tonight. Good to have the Madman with us. He is one of our chat moderators, as is Flaming Huron, who is also in chat. Those are our two chat moderators. Clint Gibson is here. 245 Trioxin. Disavow 92. Kevin R. Smith, who is one of the Gaming Gang's role-playing game reviewers. Mr. Eddie T. And of course, we know that means Sarah D's not far behind. And let's see, who else do we have? Omanal's here, who also happens to be a role-playing game reviewer for the Gaming Gang. I don't know if Omanal wants me to reveal his real name here, so I haven't. So I guess pretty easy to figure out. We know he's not Sammy. So we know he's not Kevin. So if you're looking at recent role-playing game reviews over on the Gaming Gang, it's not going to be too difficult to figure out who they would be. JP Falconer Honor is with us too. Omanel points out Gloomhaven outweighs Kingdom Death. I have to say, Kingdom Death has some pretty interesting looking minis. I like the art style. I could do without the nudity. Like, oh, I'm beating up little naked ladies. Although I shouldn't say anything because I used to use airbrushes and, of course, brushes to paint 1/6 scale figures. Yay big. And I actually did a lot of girl kits that were pretty cool. I loved the challenge of trying to get a realistic skin tone. Anyway, so Omanal says Sammy's the only one that is photogenic. The rest of us should have avatars. I don't know. Omanal says no offense to Kevin. Sure, but offense meant to me. Okay, that's good. Before I jump into the news, do you want to mention that we have now cracked 5,400 subscribers to the Gaming Gang YouTube channel. And I was like, wow, that's very cool. I know most outlets, they be like, give me a break. To me, I'm like, wow, that's cool. Especially since we've pulled in over 250 new subscribers this month alone. And up until last night, we didn't have any like D&D book reveal or anything like that, which usually draws traffic in. So very cool. Thank you everybody out there for subscribing to the Gaming Gang channel. It really means a lot to me. It truly does. Viper Dave has arrived in chat. Good to see you. Fleming Heron says naked lady miniatures. Yeah, haven't you ever seen those? They tend to be topless. And they're usually like slave women. But I think Kingdom Death has quite a number of like topless figures or figures with their butts hanging out. Don't know. Never played the game. As far as I understand, when they release a new wave of miniatures, they sell out like that. They're gone. So let's jump on into the news because I got a feeling going through Gloomhaven tonight is going to take a bit of time. Currently up for crowdfunding over on Kickstarter is Mindbug. First contact from newcomers Nerdlab Games, or I should say Nerdlab Games. Here's the dope. In Mindbug, you summon hybrid creatures and send them to battle against your opponent. But when you summon a creature, the opponent may use one of their mind bugs to take control of it. Outwit your opponent in a fascinating tactical duel in which having the best cards and playing them at the wrong time can be deadly for yourself. Cards in Mindbug represent weird creatures that all come with unique and powerful abilities, such as a compost dragon, a snail hydra, or a Kangasaurus rex. Each player starts the game with 10 creature cards, 5 in hand and 5 in a draw pile, and tries to use them to reduce the opponent's life total to 0. In addition, every player receives 2 Mindbug cards that can be used to mind control an opposing creature when it is played. This innovative Mindbug mechanism is the core of the game and leads to a unique decision-making process that makes Mindbug feel utterly different from any other card game. Playing a card doesn't require any resources in Mindbug. As a result, the game has no ramp-up phase, such as gathering resources. It doesn't require weak cards. Since there is no deck building, you can start playing right away from a single deck. There's also no unfair advantage as players draw cards from the same deck and always get the chance to mind control the strongest opposing cards. In the end, it all comes down to your own decisions, making the game extremely fair and competitive at the same time. There is a short Kickstarter video. It runs about 2.5 minutes. So let's kick back and give it a peek.
From Nerdlab Games and the creator of Magic the Gathering comes the new evolution of card games, Mindbug.
What is this place? Let's see if my servants will find some new DNA on this Earth. I'll better take that, creature!
Mindbug is played from a single deck of cards. Each player draws 5 cards to form their deck and 5 cards to form their hand. In addition, each player has 2 Mindbugs at their disposal. Form a strategy and deploy your creatures in a clever order. Trigger their powerful effects at the right time. And mind control your opponent's biggest threats. Find the gap in your opponent's defense and hit them 3 times to win the game.
With Mindbug, we distilled the most exciting situations of trading card games and put them into a single box. We achieved that by giving all of our creatures insanely powerful abilities. And since those features don't require a resource cost, it's up to you and your strategy when to play them. But the exciting twist of the game really is our unique Mindbug mechanic.
What attracted me to Mindbug in the first place was the idea that players could each steal the other person's play twice per game. That seemed like a really promising mechanic, and when I played the game, I was surprised to see how much it delivered on that promise. Not only that, it was attached to a really elegant, simple, flexible card battler that looked like it would be a lot of fun to work on.
So it's your goal to construct a board state so that your opponent has to use their Mindbugs in a less beneficial situation. Outsmart your opponent, gain an advantage, and win the game.
Okay, we've heard enough. Be a good human. Support the Mindbug now.
Mindbug First Contact is for 2 players, ages 8 and up, plays in about 15 to 25 minutes, and the Kickstarter project is mind-numbingly past its funding goal. I believe it's past 2,600% funded. You can reserve a copy of the base set and expansion for a $29 pledge through December 11th. Expected delivery is June of next year. I like the art style. I definitely do. The art style looks pretty interesting, and it is co-designed by Richard Garfield. So that kind of piques my interest a little bit as well. Although I say it time and time again, Keyforge came out and everybody's like, oh my goodness, Keyforge. And now I don't hear anybody playing Keyforge. So I'm sure there are still people out there who do, but it's just not the hotness that it once was. This looks kind of cool, kind of fun for the whole family. Like I said, I like the art style. Let's see, who else have we had pop into chat? Helga Ratbone is with us. Howdy, Helga. Thanks for swinging on by and hanging out with us in chat. So JPF says their copy of Gloomhaven is collecting dust since they started playing the Steam version. See, JPF owns stock in the Steam version of the game, so he wants to make sure to push the digital version of it as well. One thing I had heard, now I don't know because I haven't played it, but I heard the digital version didn't have everything from the base game. So I don't know. I believe it was in early access for quite some time. Omanal says Jaws of the Lion is probably an easier one to bring to the table. Well, I can tell you, Jaws of the Lion is certainly a much smaller footprint box. Although I picked it up because I almost bought it. And I almost bought it at Target one day. And I thought, I'd probably rather just pick up Gloomhaven if I find a deal on it. And of course, on Black Friday, I did get a deal. Moving on to my next news piece. Fans of the Osprey Games World War II game Undaunted should rejoice, as Undaunted Reinforcements is hitting stores in time for the winter holiday shopping. Here's the skinny. This is a modular expansion for Undaunted Normandy and Undaunted North Africa that adds new content to both games, including a solo mode by David Turksey and David Digby, and adds a 4-player mode that takes the Undaunted series to an unprecedented scale. In North Africa, the long-range desert group are a thorn in the sides of the Italian forces, disrupting vital lines of communication and striking at strategic targets ranging far and wide. Damn you, Rat Patrol! In Normandy, U.S. forces brace against a German counterattack, determined to maintain their foothold in the region. The fighting is intense, and the outcome hangs on a knife edge. With everything at stake, you desperately need reinforcements. Undaunted Reinforcements is a modular expansion that introduces a range of new rules, scenarios, and units. Unleash the might of the German and American tanks and see how your new squad options fare against them in Undaunted Normandy, or make use of mines, assault aircraft, and other new units as you attempt to outfox your opponent in Undaunted North Africa. So I guess you're trying to outfox the Desert Fox? Whether you have only one or the other, you'll be able to play Undaunted for the first time in a 4-player mode, or test your mettle in a solo mode, once again, designed by David Turksey and David Digby. Undaunted Reinforcements contains a big box expansion to the critically acclaimed Undaunted series, offers a considerable amount of new content for players who own both Undaunted Normandy and Undaunted North Africa, including a multitude of new scenarios and units. It allows for solo games and 4-player team battles for the first time in the Undaunted line. Undaunted Reinforcements is for 1 to 4 players, ages 12 and up, plays in about 45 to 60 minutes. It's going to carry an MSRP of $48. And of course, it goes without saying, you must own at least one of the Undaunted games to utilize this expansion. It is not standalone. Very cool. I really have enjoyed playing Undaunted Normandy. I was very pleasantly surprised. I think, in my opinion, and it might just be me, but I think when Undaunted came out, that was Undaunted Normandy, I should say. That to me was a bit of a turning point for Osprey Games, because a lot of the Osprey games that came prior, they were like really light family games. There was, what was it, Zoo Football, which I was like, seriously? I was like, you're kidding, right? This is from Osprey Publishing? I think Samurai Gardener was another one. So when they started releasing like a meatier game, I was like, sweet. And I didn't expect a whole lot of it, but really, really did enjoy it. ARM1384 is with us in chat. I think this might be a first-time visit for ARM1384. Then again, I could be wrong. It's not unusual for me to say, hey, welcome aboard. And somebody's like, dude, I've been in chat all week. What's wrong with you? So if you are a fan of Undaunted, supposed to be December 15th. I'm not positive. I have seen December 2nd as well. I'm guessing it's probably December 15th that you're going to see this in stores. Let's move on to some role-playing game news, because there are some major Starfinder releases that are arriving in December. And here's the scoop from Paizo Inc. First off, we've got Starfinder Adventure Path number 43, Icebound. It is part 4 of 6 in the Horizons of the Vast Adventure Path. A distress beacon from a desolate section of tundra sends the heroes on a rescue mission in the biting cold. They find a lone Vesk survivor in the wreckage of a starship prowled by a menacing insectile stowaway, a component of the dreaded swarm. Spoilers! The heroes trace the creature's origin to a frozen gas giant in the same system, where a mutated swarm colony has begun to awaken from a strange hibernation. Will the heroes brave the floating organic layer to stop the swarm from contacting the greater hive mind? Icebound is a Starfighter role-playing game adventure for 4 7th-level characters by Jason Tondro. This adventure continues the Horizons of the Vast adventure path, a 6-part bi-monthly campaign in which the heroes are at the forefront of exploring and charting a newly discovered world filled with mystery. This volume also includes a dossier on the Vescarium spy agency known as Directive 9, technology repurposed from the swarm, and a selection of deadly alien threats. Each bi-monthly full-color softcover Starfinder adventure path, say that 5 times quick, contains a new installment of a series of interconnected science fantasy quests that together create a fully developed plot of sweeping scale and epic challenges. Each 64-page volume of the Starfinder adventure path also contains in-depth articles that detail and expand the Starfinder campaign setting and provide new rules, a host of exciting new monsters and alien races, a new planet to explore, and starship to pilot, and more. This soft cover is going to carry an MSRP of $22.99. I believe it is going to be available in PDF for $15.99, but I'm not positive because I think Paizo is trying to pull back a little bit on the PDFs. I'll talk about that a little bit after the news. Then we have Starfinder spell cards. Hold the magic of the galaxy in your hands with Starfinder spell cards, the must-have accessory no superior science fantasy spellcaster can do without. More than 250 sturdy spell reference cards covering every spell in the Starfinder core rulebook and Starfinder character operations manual give players instant access to key game details at a glance. This box set carries an MSRP of $34.99. Then we've got the Starfighter Flip Tile Space Station Corridors expansion. Next time your players head for the far side of the space station they're visiting, they won't have to wait while you draw every hallway, intersection, and maintenance tunnel. The Starfinder Flip Tile Space Station Corridors expansion provides beautifully illustrated 6-inch by 6-inch map tiles that can be used to construct never-ending combinations of public thoroughfares and behind-the-scenes service corridors to enhance your orbital station. Inside, you'll find 24 richly crafted double-sided map tiles. This expansion set, along with the Starfinder Flip Tiles Space Station Starter Set, allows you to create futuristic space habitats with endless variety. So stop your sketching and start your flipping today. And this box set of flip tiles carries an MSRP of $19.99. Finally, we also have the Starfinder Society Scenario number 4-12. Essentially, it's season 4, number 12. A festive operation. It is a Starfinder Society scenario designed for levels 3 to 6. Regarded by many as the cultural center of the Pact Worlds, Absalom Station plays host to hundreds of different holiday traditions each year, shared by the hundreds of diverse species who live and work there. But while holidays are normally a time for celebration, not everyone's feeling particularly festive. A whimsical Raxolite appears to a group of fledgling Starfinders and asks them for help in spreading cheer. The Starfinders are tasked with doing a few good deeds for station residents and experiencing 3 different Pact World holidays. This PDF will be available for $5.99, which, of course, previously, before the pandemic, you had to be going to your game stores to play these adventures. Now they are released in PDF. All of these are slated to be available on December 15th. So we got some good Starfinder goodies. I still have to get my review of the 3rd chapter, The Horizons of the Vast, out there. I almost recorded it today. Almost did it today. Just have a lot of stuff's been going on. been doing a lot of work on my dad's computer, to be honest, and finally decided, hey, you know what? We need to upgrade this. It's like we need to bring you into like the 2020s now. Come on. So we actually ordered a pretty sweet gaming laptop for him, so he can maybe check out Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Moving on to the next news piece. But before I do that, ARM 1384 says, nope, it's not the first time. They've just changed their name to make it easier to pronounce. All righty then. Good deal. Then welcome back. If you're a fan of indie role-playing games, then you'll certainly want to check out the Indie Cornucopia 9 from Bundle of Holding. Here's the deets. Adventure! We present this Indie Cornucopia 9, our 9th annual offer of top-quality, small-press, tabletop role-playing game PDFs. For just $12.95, you get all 3 complete games in the starter collection, which carry a retail value of $46.50, as DRM-free PDFs, including Ironsworn Delve by Sean Tompkins, plus his free Ironsworn core rules, Adrian Thoen's Apocalypse Engine starfaring game Impulse Drive, and from Andrew Peregrine at Corona Design, Opera House, which is just what it sounds like. And if you pay more than the threshold price of $26.08, at least that was the current threshold price when I put this news piece together, you'll level up and also get the entire bonus collection with 5 more titles worth an additional $79. There's Against the Dark Master from Open Ended Games, epic heavy metal fantasy adventures against a resurgent evil in the style of Tolkien, Wheel of Time, Labyrinth, and Dragon Slayer. Well, yes, I would say it's obviously in the style of Tolkien, because Against the Dark Master is kind of a repurposed MERP, Middle-earth role-playing. There's also Ultraviolet Grasslands from WTF Studio, a system-like campaign setting of incomparable psychedelic weirdness in a vast mythic landscape. Should point out, we're going to be taking a look at that in January, because I picked up a copy for our old school for the New Year's celebration. Then there's also Electric Bastionland from Bastionland Press. Refugees from hundreds of failed careers seek treasure in the only city that matters. From Chris McDowell, who is the author of Into the Odd. 2 more ship playbooks are included as well for Impulse Drive, The Outpost, and The Pioneer. These savings run through December 13th, and 10% of your payment after gateway fees will be donated to this offer's pandemic-related charity. You guessed it, Direct Relief. Boy, Direct Relief really makes out like bandits from Bundle of Holding. It's like 8 out of every 10 bundles, it seems, is to benefit Direct Relief. Hell, I'm not saying anything about it. I just think it's like, it's kind of interesting that so many companies decide, yeah, go ahead, go Direct Relief. On to the final news piece of the night. There's a new adventure that's arrived for Mongoose Publishing's Traveler 2nd Edition role-playing game. Here's the latest on Core Adventure number 1, Invasive Species. The core is the seat of empire for the Third Imperium, a highly populated and industrialized region of space, civilized for thousands of years. It is also home to several reserve worlds, some of which are places where the imperial feudal nobility go to rest and play. Tina Fabre is a candidate to become the 4th reserve world in the sector. Tina Fey, what? I'm sorry. Tina Fabre hosts a lush ecosphere with dozens of imported alien animals. The travelers are hired by the ducal heir of Elkvaden to fly a safari ship first to Akasajana to obtain specimens of a rare and wild species, and then on to Tina Fabre, where the animal is to be deposited into a wildlife preserve. After it settled in, the young Duke-to-be enlists the travelers to hunt the elusive creature in its adopted habitat, but it proves to be a wily prey with heretofore unknown abilities. Man, you knew it wasn't going to be as easy as it sounded. The hunters become the hunted and are seemingly forced to fight off the entire animal kingdom of the preserve. Will they end up in a pitched battle for their very survival? Invasive Species includes a complete adventure set in the core, the superb Starling, a customized Type K safari ship, new and exciting animal encounters, including the sly and ferocious Shakazarpi of Akashana. Love when they come up with all these oddball names for things. Maps of 2 wild alien worlds as well. You can snag the 40-page Invasive Species Adventure PDF over at DriveThruRPG for $11.99. And yes, I'm sure you're probably tired of hearing this. I'm sure the fine folks over at Mongoose Publishing are tired of hearing this. $12 is too expensive for a 40-page adventure. Sorry, it's just the way it is. But here's the funny thing. You might be thinking, I only include Traveler news so I can pick on Mongoose Publishing for their PDF prices. That is not the case. I really like Traveler. I think Mongoose has done a really nice job with Traveler 2nd edition. I just wish their PDFs were lower in price because I think you would bring in far more people to play Traveler. Just my thing. Just my thing. Flaming Heron says that the Indie Cornucopia number 9 looked like a pretty interesting bundle. Yes, that's one of the reasons why I shared it. Got to point out, every once in a while, I run across a bundle over on Bundle of Holding, and I'm like, nah. Usually it's when I see stuff and it's, world building stuff for 5e, and I'm kind of like, nah, I don't need to share that, dude. All right, that's it for the news tonight. Last news piece talking about invasive species for Traveler and DriveThruRPG makes me just want to remind you, as if you could possibly forget, that the Gaming Gang, thus the Dispatch, is affiliated with the One Bookshelf sites. So if you are planning on heading over to, say, DriveThruRPG or Dungeon Masters Guild or Storyteller's Vault, what have you, please stop by thegaminggang.com first. Click on one of our banner ads. That way, if you happen to make a purchase, I get a little portion of that sale. All those nickels, dimes, and quarters really do add up and help keep thegaminggang.com around. Of course, I also should point out that a lot of people do utilize those banner links, and it is vastly appreciated. Really, really is. Also, should mention, if you like this video, if you like the Gaming Gang channel, if you like thegaminggang.com, which if you haven't visited, please do. I think you'll be very surprised how much content is there that you don't hear about in the live stream or other videos. But if you dig that, you can buy me a cup of coffee or some soda. Notice I got my holiday cup out. I have my holiday decorations up as well with my 2 stockings that won't stay up. Keep falling down. Trying to use double-sided tape to keep them up. Ain't working. Anyway, if you'd like to buy me a cup of coffee or some soda, you can swing on over to paypal.me/thegaminggang. And some people, from time to time, make donations that way as well. And that's also a big thank you to everyone out there, because if you're not familiar with the Gaming Gang, I do not run Kickstarters and things like that to keep myself around. Myself. Keep the outlet around. So, Flaming Heron says, follow the Gaming Gang on Twitter. Get your news that way. there too. Yes, because I do auto post all the articles and videos as well when they go up on thegaminggang.com on both Twitter and Facebook. But I'll be very honest, it's worthless for you to follow on Facebook. I mean, I appreciate it if you did, but the problem is Facebook wants me to pay them to share our like news posts with people who followed it. So even if you followed the Gaming Gang on Facebook, you're not going to see what comes out from the Gaming Gang. I think that's ridiculous. So it's just an auto post. I don't waste any time really on Facebook. Okay, so let's see. Madman says they just bought a couple of things from drive-thru earlier. Very cool. Excellent. Omanal says, me clean. I'm not sure what they mean by that. All right, so I'm going to jump into taking a look at Gloomhaven in a sec. But when I was talking about the Starfinder news, I think, I don't know, I don't have like any inside dope on this or anything like that. Yes, that's exactly what I was going to talk about, 245 Trioxin, who I'm pretty sure I said hello to earlier when they came in. Fleming Aaron says the sale sucked him clean. That's it. I get it. So, yes, Omanal has blown all their money on the drive-thru RPG Black Friday through Cyber Monday sale. Oh, no, the Monty Cook sale cleaned them out. Oh, nice. Yeah, I actually listed that on the Black Friday special page on the Gaming Gang. See, if you don't follow the Gaming Gang or don't visit the website, you wouldn't have seen all those deals from different companies that I had posted for Black Friday through Cyber Monday. All right. So anyway, I understand that Paizo Inc. has been coming down really hard on people pirating their PDFs and shutting down, I guess, like not necessarily like pirate sites, but I guess sites that have hosted their files and doing like cease and desist and things like that. And I honestly get the feeling that they're considering not doing PDFs. The reason why I mention this, and maybe it's just that whoever updates their website just isn't as quick on updating things anymore. But I've noticed a lot of times recently, especially like adventures and that, usually it'd be like, okay, well, if it's a Pathfinder Adventure Path chapter, it's going to be $24.99, and then the PDF is $17.99, right as rain. If it's Starfinder, it's $22.99, and the PDF is $15.99. Just like the Flip Tile box set, right? $19.99. Usually, that's like $14.99 or so. But lately, Paizo's not listing any of those in PDF. So as an example, like the Starfinder news, I said, I think the PDF would be $15.99. It is not indicated that it will have a PDF available. So I kind of get the feeling that Paizo's considering going the way of Wizards of the Coast and not doing PDFs. Also keep in mind that Paizo also has, I don't know much about it, but they have been working on their own sort of virtual tabletop. And I wouldn't be surprised if they decide that they're going to go the way of like D&D Beyond and make you have to purchase digital product through that. I don't know. Like I said, it's just kind of a gut feeling I've got. I don't, I've got my, like my PR people at Paizo that I talk to in that, but it's not like I have any like inside dope or anything like that. It's just, I don't know. because it seems I actually had somebody, I can't believe this. Somebody had sent me an email asking me where I knew or if I knew of places that they could download pirated Starfinder and Pathfinder stuff. I was like, what? It's like, no, I don't. I know where the pirates hang out, but I don't know. It's like, what are you, an idiot? Omanal says, funny as Humble Bundle has had tons of Starfighter and Pathfinder PDFs. I know. They do it all the time. They do huge second edition Pathfinder bundles. I don't know. I think I gotta say, I wouldn't be surprised if that's where a lot of the piracies come from. Flaming Aaron says, haha, people dumb. Yeah. People dumb much? Kevin says they've heard that the virtual tabletop is going to work exactly like D&D Beyond for a purchase model. Well, there you go. I don't invest myself too heavily into like the specifics of a particular company, like Wizards of the Coast, right? This is not a D&D channel. This is not a Pathfinder channel. This is not a wargaming channel. This channel is all about all kinds of games. So I don't have enough time to invest in like really digging in deeply into checking things out. So thank you for mentioning that, Kevin. So like I said, I don't know much about their virtual tabletop. I understand it's, you know, it's in the design process. Kabuki Kid has showed up. Good to see you, Double K. Haven't seen Double K in a while. Omanal says, cheap PDFs I will buy. I got to be honest, if Pathfinder and Starfinder PDFs are the same price as they normally would be, then I don't really have that much of an issue with it. Especially the core book stuff. Paizo usually has a really good, like, I guess it's their policy or something, but they tend to have their big core books, their big supplements, really inexpensive in PDF. It might be a $50 book, and then the PDF is like $14.99. They don't just do, oh, it's half the cost. Okay, so enough of that. Let's jump on into Gloomhaven, which is from Cephlofair Games. Games designed by Isaac Childress with artwork provided by Alexander Elichev, Josh T. McDowell, and Alvaro Nebo. Gloomhaven is for 1 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, plays in 1 to 2 hours, does carry an MSRP of $140. Although, I got to be honest, most online retailers these days charge about $99. And as I had mentioned last night, I got a Black Friday special on it for $84 on Amazon. So before I dive in, I am going to reload my diet soda. Yeah, this is good content, right? Wow. We see Jeff looking down as he's pouring soda into a coffee mug. Yeah, that's good content. Swing on over to the other camera because here I've got Gloomhaven. This box is massive. This box is really big. And normally when we start taking a look at these games, I would flip the box over and we'll take a look at the flavor text on the back of the box. I'm not doing that. I am not doing that. This box is 20 pounds. As I have a cat hair suddenly attach itself to my nose. So there's some discussion of picking up PDFs of role-playing games. I like physical books too, but actually when I'm running a game, I tend to enjoy PDFs much more. Although it can be difficult if you need to reference a rule book and an adventure module or what have you at the same time. All right, let's open this up. All right, come on, you. Ay, ay, ay. All right. I'm going to put this down here. Get the official audio narration for Gloomhaven. Available on the App Store and Google Play. All right. Get the official box organizer for Gloomhaven. That's one thing I have heard about this. There you go. Omanal just jumped in. Gloomhaven is one that screams for an organizer. I also ran across, I didn't order it, but I did see it on Amazon. There was a set of like reusable vinyl stickers. Because I understand there's stickers in here and there's kind of a legacy aspect to the game. And I guess they've got vinyl stickers so you can use the stickers, but actually just pop them back off and enjoy playing the game again. Kabuki Kid says, yeah, spend another $75 for an organizer. Yes. All right, so we got the rule book. We have, I think this is like the Adventure Journal or something. I think, looks like it. So we're actually going to be looking at this stuff right up here. And we're going to make our way down. Luckily, as I point out, we're using the Sony for the overhead shots, which has a pretty good autofocus. If we were using the Panasonic, we would be in big trouble. All right, so we got our components, our table of contents, play overview. We've got our standard attack modifier deck. I believe this also takes quite a bit of space on your table to play. So we've got our character mats, character ability cards, item cards, monster statistic cards. I think we get minis for the player characters, the main characters, and standees for the monsters. Kabuki Kid says the reusable stickers aren't expensive, that she bought them. I think they were $10. Now, there might be various different companies who make them, but the Madman also points out they have the reusable stickers too. Can't see spending that much on a game only to place permanent stickers on the board. So one of the things too that I think of when they did the Risk Legacy, the science fiction Risk game, my buddy Louie out in Mesa, Arizona, he and his son, also named Louie, played the whole campaign and they had a blast. But I sat there, I was like, wait a second, so you got to rip up cards? You tear things up in a board game? I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to do that. Okay, so we get a breakdown of the game rules here. It is also my understanding that this is a very crunchy game. Some people love this game, and some people just do not. So, Omanal says they got the reusable stickers for both Gloomhaven and Jaws of the Lion. All right, so as we can see, we've got quite a lot of rules here. I'm guessing probably about 45 pages or so. So that's the bosses. Got our campaign board, party sheets, character sheets, personal quest cards. So JPF had mentioned that their physical copy of the game hasn't seen much play since they picked up the digital edition. So my question would be, is the digital edition a great way to learn how to actually play the board game itself? That's what I'm a little curious about, because sometimes the board game ports, not always, but on occasion, mechanically are not the same. There's some changes to the mechanics in the game. So we've got 51 pages of rules. Then we have a player aid on the back. Kabuki Kid says, yeah, that first time you play a legacy game and have to destroy components or whatnot seems so alien. Yeah, we were playing the legacy game that Wizards of the Coast did, and same thing. It was sort of like, oh my gosh, we're supposed to tear this up. We're supposed to write on this. Oh, okay. So this is the campaign board, I believe. Someone else says, what if I want to restart with a new group? I get it. I understand. So here we've got global achievements. That must be where some of these stickers go. And we've got this map here. We've got an insert with a close-up of Gloomhaven, the city of Gloomhaven. I have a prosperity tracker down here as well. Cool. Okay, so like I said, I think this is kind of an adventure journal. We're not going to look through all of it because I don't want to ruin the surprises for myself. Everyone needs to eat. That's how it starts off. So the player characters are kind of, wandering adventurers. And I believe they're clearing out dungeons and ruins. So this is our introduction here. Black Barrow. So this is number 1. Let's see. So we get to 95. And do we have 96? Nope, 95. So there are 95 adventures in this. Kabuki Kid says they're in the middle of a pandemic legacy season 0 with friends and loving it. I was super tempted to pick up Pandemic Legacy on Black Friday because there was a special for it as well. But the thing is, it's been so hit or miss with getting the same people together to game. I was like, I don't know. So I know if you're a longtime follower of the gaming gang, you're going to be shocked by this. I actually picked up Pandemic. A game that I have you could quote me. I have said, nah, it's all right. Like, I don't necessarily like games that play me as opposed to me playing them. But I thought it was such a good deal. If I remember right, I think it was $12. So I was like, yeah, I'll take it. Because, I'll play it. I'll play games that I'm maybe not super keen on if other people really like them. So, as an example, Elliot really likes Pandemic, but he doesn't own it, strangely enough. So we got some town records. This is sealed, so I'm not going to crack that open. Here are our stickers. So we've got location stickers, which kind of brings to mind Forbidden Lands, the role-playing game from Free League Publishing, where you have a map and you have location stickers as well. So no two world maps are the same. So we have more location stickers. That's cool. I like that. And I would say that these stickers are pretty decent quality as well. Omanal says there are a lot of games hard to bring out as they take 3 to 6 hours, especially a lot of war games, a lot of big, epic war games. Now, the monster games, those take days to play. I couldn't even imagine attempting that anymore. And we used to do that when I was in high school. After class on a Friday, we'd get together at somebody's house and be in their basement and start playing some huge SPI or Avalon Hill game. The Longest Day is a great example. And I always kid around. The Longest Day of Gaming is what it should have been called. And we could spend all weekend playing. I couldn't even picture trying to do that. Unless I'm running a role-playing game or if I'm playing some sort of kind of epic kind of game, like Omanal points out, like Axis or Allies, actually Axis and Allies, or Twilight Imperium. Yeah, I can't see spending like 6 hours on a game. That's why I have to be honest. I think I've mentioned this before. I'm not positive if I mentioned this on the show before. But I had an opportunity to play Descent, second edition, and I played it a couple of times, and I was not a fan. I thought the game took way too long for very little, very little payoff. And it's kind of supposed to be like a role-playing game, but I don't know. It was okay. The minis were fine. So we're looking at these punch boards with a variety of informational tokens, different locales. So these all lock together. Because I can tell that they're cut. So there's a bit of they kind of fit together like little puzzle pieces. So we got a lot of these. So we got some, it's like these, I'm not sure if these are monster. I think these are monster standees here. Yeah, there we go. Got more. I think this is probably what is all the weight here. Omenel says that their son will only play games that are 20 to 40 minutes. I have to chuckle because I've noticed how you've got these game companies that are presenting games that play in 30 to 55 minutes or from 15 to 25 minutes, as if it's like, oh my God, don't let that game run 30 minutes. Don't let that game run 60 minutes. Don't tell people they could play it for an hour. It's like, come on. These punch boards are nice and thick. So I would take a stab that these components are going to stand up to a lot of play. I can certainly see where you would have the need for an organizer. I would also take a guess that this probably takes a good amount of time. Well, maybe not. Depends when we see all the cards and that, what we get. Like I say, I would think this takes a bit of time to set up. But I would doubt it takes Arkham Horror time to set up. Wow, these just go on and on. So I'm taking a guess these are some more boss monsters here because they have a bit larger standees. Looks like a headless horseman here. Artwork's very nice. I definitely like the artwork. In case you haven't seen it, I'll get a little closer in here so you can kind of check out the art. Kabuki Kid says they tend to actually prefer longer games. If the game is shorter than an hour, they're not always as satisfied. I think a game, well, I have to say that you need to understand the game pretty well. But a game like Twilight Struggle, to me, that fits, that scratches the right itch. Because we can play that in a couple of hours. Unless it goes the full length, maybe we're talking 2.5 hours. But to me, that's the right amount of epicness. Now, I could run a role-playing game all day, all night. That doesn't bother me at all. I enjoy, nice, long game sessions when I'm running RPGs. There we go. We got some more creatures here. Wow. There are, how many? Oh, there's like 5 or 6 more of these. Pretty wild. And I do notice these are like little terrain markers, and they are different on the other side. So this looks more like a shrub, and then it's rocks or stalactites. Is it stalagmites that come from the floor? I think it is. So Kabuki Kid says Rebellion is excellent. They rated a perfect 10. I'm assuming you're talking about Star Wars. So there we go. I got to be honest. I'm right with Omenal. I have not played Rebellion. I played Battlestar Galactica. It was okay. But funny enough, the game I played, Elliot's son and his nephew got into a big argument. And I mean, it was crazy. It was like, what the hell? It's like, you do realize this is a stupid game, right? Yep, stalagmites are the ones that are on the ground. Cool, that's what I thought. Well, that's what I think those tokens were supposed to represent. Jesus, they just go on and on. I could see utilizing a lot of these terrain pieces for minis. Okay. All right, now we're going to start getting into decks and things like that. So these are little sealed items. More little stickers, right? Yep. That's more little stickers here. Got our party sheets. Jeez. Like 5. Got a postcard I can send. No, I'm kidding. This is, I guess, maybe this is for deciphering clues, runes of some sort. Omenal says Dead of Winter is one they want to play again. I have a friend from high school that, if funny enough, he had actually been written up in an article about Beyond the Mountains of Madness, the Call of Cthulhu adventure, which I believe we've got a new edition coming soon. And he had asked me what I knew about Dead of Winter. He had asked me on Facebook, and I said, I got to be honest, I've never played it. So I picked it up. He said they really enjoy it. All right, so we've got different decks here, or a big deck. It's all have the same backing. So it's like these are informational. Deep Terror. Stone Golem. So it doesn't look like there's really any artwork on these. Just looks like basically like so. So we'll get these out. We're not going to look through a bunch of those. Well, I can see what I'll be doing after the show. It's busting baggies out to put stuff in. So we've got different tokens. So I'm not sure. These look like these would be environmental almost. Maybe they represent particular players. We've got our standees. Or I should say our stands for the standees. Let's see. I think these are like bosses. Okay, so it's like we slide something into here. Must be these bosses here. Because I noticed they've got different. Look like maybe different levels. Andy Sykes has joined us in chat. Welcome aboard, Andy. Says, is there a contents list in the box? No, but I do believe when we first took a peek at the rule book, it was showing the contents. And yes, this is a lot of stuff. Just kind of take a peek at some of the bosses here. It's got a nice finish to it. So as an example, we've got the Bandit Commander. It's got 2 different sides. So it looks like maybe these are the levels, the numbers here. The merciless overseer, the sightless eye. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, I like that. I like that art. The Gloom. So is there another one? The Haven? Where's the Haven? An Earth Demon. Well, I'll have to say, this is pretty damn impressive for all the components in it. Watch, it'll be like playing a spreadsheet. All right, so I got to add all this up, and then I got to subtract all this. All right, so that math is hard. Anything else down there? No. It's kind of funny because at the angle that I'm at, I'm actually looking at my preview on screen, so I could actually see what's in the box here because I can't see it. So we've got some more cards here. I think these are locations. Yeah, these are little location cards. Okay. So I guess there's kind of like almost like a random hex crawl kind of thing. So Kabuki Kid says that their boyfriend's not much of a gamer and he hates getting his butt kicked in a two-player game. So he tends to prefer when we play cooperative games. I can understand that. I've been gaming for so long. I don't mind getting my butt kicked. All right, so Streamliner, Layabout, Zealot, Fast Healer. Looks like these are kind of traits, probably for the player characters. You probably maybe you draw a trait. I don't know. Kevin says there's another third-party product, the Gloomhaven Excel spreadsheet. It's only $29.99. Slide these back in. We're not going to look at all the stuff in these boxes here. Plus, I guarantee we got more stuff. Yep. Got trackers. And we got more boxes down there. Jeez. All right, so we've got, these look like probably health and mana. Health and magic points. So Omenal says, problem with long games is it takes 3 or 4 times to play in order to know the rules. And then you have to have players who are willing to play that many times. Yeah. All right. Why is that stuck there now? What the heck? Was that just standing up? I guess it was standing up. There we go. Got another deck of cards. Looks like they're just with numbers on it. So there's not like a lot of artwork on some of these cards. So got those. Okay, what do we got these here? Didn't we just see? Yeah. Yeah, so it looks like those are numbered. Hey, look, it fits in there. So here we've got looks like some magic items. Flaming Friends is no shortage of components. Yes, and everybody keeps talking about how Frosthaven is even bigger. Like it's 10 pounds more for the box. So we've got Blinking Cape, Circlet of Elements, Wand of Frost, Dampening Ring. Nice. So those are some magic items there. I just don't want this video to run like an hour and a half. Oh my gosh. More stuff. These must be items. And these are magic items. Nice. Yeah, I'd say that the insert leaves a little bit to be desired. So we've got city cards. Let's take a look. Just kind of curious. So these have different symbols on them. Should I take a guess? These symbols represent like chapters. Omanal says they got Gloomhaven plus the expansions from the Frosthaven Kickstarter. And he says plays in 1 or 2 hours. Does that include setup time? No. No. And Kabuki Kid says no. I would think the first few times you play, you're not going to get these adventures done in, 1 to 2 hours either. Okay, so we've just got A and B sides to these. I think these are miniatures. I might be wrong, but I am not. They are the minis. All right, you can come out of the box. What the hell? There we go. Oh, nice. Very nice. That's very cool. Okay, so we had city. These are road cards, same kind of thing. We get the A and B on it. Seeker of Zorn. What are these? Maybe NPCs or something? No, maybe they're missions. Pounds of flesh. Implement of light. Yeah, they are. They're kind of quests. Goliath Toppler. Okay, so now I understand what these are. These are the adventure cards. So I'm going to take a guess. Like this corresponds with this. Could be completely. Oh, look at this. So we get their own little deck of cards with the plus and minus. There we go. We got character sheets. What is it? Like 3 of them? 4, 5. So here's our character board. That's cool. I like that. And then we've got their deck of, no doubt, these are their special abilities in that. So we're not going to take a look at each one of the characters as far as these little boxes, but we are going to look at each of the miniatures. All right, come on. See, that's one of the things that I have an issue with games that have a lot of components like this. They're just such a pain to put everything back together where it should go. So, come on. And we got the little character sheets sliding on in here. Once again, this is such good content. Look at it, Jeff. Sliding the character sheet back in. Wow, that's so exciting, Jeff. Oh, for crying out loud. Come on. What goes which way? Fighting here. Yep. Definitely needs the organizer. Yeah, it needs something. Say that much. Like I said, we're not looking at all of these because I'm not going to go through all that. I'm going to go through all that hassle. Come on now. There we go. Okay. Like I said, I want to see I want to see all the miniatures. So we'll do that. Omenal says draws the line is why it's more likely to see table time. Ooh, cool. So this is kind of like an armored bear. It looks like. Okay. I'd like to play the armored bear, please. Glenn Gibson says it adds to the anticipation. Yeah, just like the Heinz ketchup bottle. This looks like a halfling. Like a halfling adventure, gnome adventure. I will mention that these do look like they're 28 millimeter. I do not believe that these are 32s. They look pretty small. They may even be closer to 24s. You know, the traditional 24 millimeter, like Grenadier minis and things like that. Okay, look at these. See what we got. Oh, that's kind of cool. Looks like this might be some sort of like magic user. Kabuki Kid says they know a lot of people who like setting up Gloomhaven and leaving it out to minimize setup and tear down between plays. A lot of war gamers do that kind of stuff with their games, especially solitaire games. But I could see that you would need a pretty good sized table. Oh, okay. So that's kind of wild looking miniature here. Homanal says buying a gaming table so you can cover up the game until playtime and still have the table to use. You have one of those receded tops where you can just lay something on top of it. All right, come on. There we go. Okay. So Man says that's exactly what they'll be doing. Game table to protect the components from the cats. Yes, I have that as well. All right. This looks like kind of a berserker type character. Like a gladiator sort. Hey, speaking of cats, Pinky has arrived downstairs. All right, what do we got? Holy cow. We got a ton of minis still left. It's like, I don't think we're going to look at each and every one of the miniatures, gang. And this looks like we've got a bard. All right. Okay, so I am not going to look at all the rest of the miniatures. You'll get to see those when I do a review, because at this point, we're almost to an hour and a half on the video. So we've got all the various different, I think this goes the other way, all the different player kind of like packages here with the player boards and their decks of cards, variety of card decks. We've got standees for the monsters. We've got some little envelopes of stuff that we're going to open up at some point during the adventures. Got our party sheet. We got stickers. We've got our, looks like it's kind of our rune translation as well. We have loads and loads of punch boards. Flaming Heron says, think if you've seen one of the character packs, you've seen them all. So let's see. So I think this was like so, kind of. Oh, I forgot to put a deck of cards back. Uh-huh. think they were in here. Along with other stuff. Yeah, I think they were. Okay. Then we had our health and magic trackers. I can see this is also one of those games where you're going to have a very hard time getting everything to fit back into the box the way it's supposed to fit. Anyway, as I said, we've got loads and loads of punch boards. I'll tell you what, there was really no kind of like air, empty. There's no empty space in this box. So we've got different stickers. We've got our campaign board. More of the punch boards with the terrain and monsters. We've got what I believe is the adventure journal, as well as our rule book. And let's not forget the official audio narration for Gloomhaven. Available on the Apple Store and Google Play. Yeah, my goodness. And that is a lot of, not all of, but a lot of what we find in Gloomhaven when we take it outside the box. Of course, I will have a review of this in the future. I don't know how soon, because I purchased this myself. This was not sent to me as a review copy, so I'm not, under any obligation to have to do a review, but I will have a review in the future as well. Once again, this is Gloomhaven from Cephlofair Games. It's for 1 to 4 players, ages 14 and up. Supposedly, once you understand what's going on and you have things set up, each adventure plays in 1 or 2 hours, or 1 to 2 hours. And it does carry an MSRP of $140, although most online retailers nowadays offer it for about $99.99. So let's swing on over to the other camera and I'll be able to wrap up. Look at this. Sort of like, oh my gosh. It's like my mouse died. It was actually, the mouse fell asleep. I'm like, hey, what's going on here? So there is so Omanal says the punch boards, you have to make sure you count all of the figures. Jeez. Okay, so that is it for this time out. Kind of an extra long show tonight. What can I tell you? Anyway, if you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, ding that bell, because it'll not only let you know when I stream the Dispatch live Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday evenings here on YouTube at 7 p.m. Central. I'll also let you know when I upload other videos, such as my upcoming review of Rackham Vale. Yes, keep an eye on this. This will be up this weekend or the end of the week. If you're curious what's going on tomorrow, we are going to unbox and take a first look at Stratego Assassin's Creed. Much lighter box. Much fewer components. But I also am going to do a bonus first look at something not necessarily gaming related, but if you follow along with the Gaming Gang, I'm sure you'll dig it. You'll get a kick out of it. Anyway, don't forget, when you're out watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer. Thank you very much for watching. If you took part in chat, I appreciate that as well, because otherwise I'd just be pontificating out into the ether. But I also know a lot of people out there don't have an opportunity to watch live. So regardless how you watch any of the videos on the channel, even if you're watching on Memorex, thank you very kindly. It is much appreciated. Everybody enjoy the rest of your night / morning, what have you. I will be back tomorrow. And of course, here's hoping each and every one of you always gets to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang. See you tomorrow. Oh, you're still here. Well, while you're kicking it, how about subscribing to the Gaming Gang channel? Or seeing the latest episode of the Gaming Gang Dispatch? Or finding out what YouTube recommends you check out here at my channel? And of course, don't forget, get your geek on at thegaminggang.com.